The Maz family has been blessed with stunning looks that have spanned generations, garnering them widespread admiration and heaps of cash. The eldest son, Okis, has leveraged his striking features and amassed a massive following as an internet influencer and a love guru, helping men sweep their crushes off their feet. The father, Pakar, was once a notorious heartbreaker who had romanced over 1,200 women before settling down with their mother. Speaking of the mother, she too is easy on the eyes, thanks to her ruggedly handsome features and a prominent mustache. As for the youngest son and the apple of everyone's eye, Kulin, he's the most handsome of them all. However, Kulin finds it hard to live a normal life due to his jaw-droppingly gorgeous looks. He often wishes he were just averagely attractive so that he could step out without getting mobbed by a swarm of women. Girls lose their minds, faint, yank out their hair, and even get nosebleeds at the mere sight of him. As a result, Kulin has never experienced genuine interaction with a girl and shies away from public places to avoid the attention he receives. He has been homeschooled up until this point, and his only friend is his pet fish. He often plays cards with it and talks to it aloud. His family watches him through a camera with deep concern and wants him to have a typical teenage life, doing everything in their power to help him. Okis tries to set him up with girls by showing him their pictures, but Kulin insists that he's interested in someone who doesn't find him attractive and wants to be appreciated for his personality and interests rather than his face. When nothing works to motivate Kulin to venture outside, the family devises a plan to guilt him into attending school. They fake financial difficulties, and one night when Kulin wakes up to drink water, his parents feign concern about their financial state. They dramatically announce that they'll only be eating scrambled eggs until they've saved enough money to resume his homeschooling. Kulin experiences a heavy sense of guilt over the trouble he's caused his parents. Determined to alleviate their worries, he makes the bold decision to attend a regular school for the upcoming semester. Although his family had hoped he would interact with girls, they're content with taking things one step at a time. A few days later, Kulin sets off for his first day at an actual school. Okis drops him off on his bike, but Kulin refuses to take off his helmet. His plan is to wear it all day long to conceal his striking appearance. Unfortunately, things don't go as planned. The helmet garners more attention than he anticipated, drawing unwanted attention his way. Kulin attempts to blend in by quietly taking a seat in the back of the classroom. However, his plans are derailed when he's singled out by Sidi, the class bully, and his band of henchmen. As the teacher makes her entrance into the classroom, even she is taken aback to find a guy wearing a helmet. With a sense of urgency, she insists that he removes it immediately. Despite his hesitation, Kulin has no choice but to comply. He dramatically removes the helmet, unveiling his face in a captivating manner. The next scene unfolds with the teacher being hurriedly loaded into an ambulance. Surprisingly, it is revealed that she started experiencing nosebleeds and hyperventilation due to the sheer beauty radiating from Kulin. The other kids make a fuss with the principal, whining about how the new student is ridiculously good-looking and beyond their ability to handle. In a rush to escape, Kulin dashes through the school hallway, only to be tripped up by one of the bullies. Next thing he knows, he's whisked away to the school's secret storeroom, where the bullies reveal themselves in a grandiose manner, pretending to be mighty Power Rangers. These formidable troublemakers go by the name of the Tiga Tak, a trio of bullies with Sidi, the principal's son, leading the pack. After their exaggerated introduction, they spill the beans that they desperately need Kulin's assistance to secure a prom date. The Tiga Tak have been stuck in their senior year for an outrageous 3 years already. They've made it their mission to refuse graduation until Sidi manages to woo the most stunning girl in the entire BBM school, none other than the radiant Amanda. However, there's a catch. Amanda, being quite selective, only entertains requests from incredibly attractive men. Therefore, the Tiga Tak gang urges Kulin to be the bearer of the proposal. To assist him in this daring task, they assign an innocent fellow named Kibo to guide Kulin through the process. Poor Kibo has also fallen victim to the bullies' pranks in the past, leaving him no choice but to comply with their demands. Following their scheming, Kulin and Kibo head straight to the principal's office, determined to make an official complaint about the rampant bullying in the school. Despite knowing the likely outcome, Kibo bravely stands by Kulin's side. The principal, deeply troubled by his own son's stubborn refusal to graduate, sees a glimmer of hope in Kulin's striking good looks. Recognizing the opportunity to have Amanda accompany him to the prom, the principal urges Kulin and Kibo to do whatever the bullies command. As the sun sets, Kulin and his newfound companion Kibo make a pact to tackle the daunting task the following day, and swiftly get rid of their prom mission responsibility. Kibo stands out as the first person who has genuinely shown kindness to Kulin, not solely because of his looks. Despite the day not unfolding as expected, Kulin feels a sense of joy in having gained a true friend. The next morning, they venture into the prestigious BBM school, causing a stir among the girls who catch a whiff of their presence. The school has strict rules against allowing supposedly ugly boys to step foot on the premises. Consequently, when the girls spot Kulin wearing a helmet, a collective demand ripples through the entire school, urging him to unveil his face. In a heart-pounding climax, Kulin unveils his face, triggering absolute chaos among the girls. The aftermath of this electrifying moment quickly finds its way onto television screens. Clips of girls crying, noses bleeding, strange possessions, and wild jumps spread like wildfire across social media platforms, leaving everyone astonished. Kulin quickly gains a reputation as the irresistible heartthrob, earning himself the title of the too handsome to handle guy. Even Amanda, the hottest student at BBM school and a renowned model, catches wind of this news and is instantly smitten by Kulin. Finally, someone who matches her in both looks and status. Determined to win his affection, she sets out on a mission to impress him with all her charm. As the news spreads like wildfire, a swarm of girls flocks to the Ma's residence, eager to catch a glimpse of the mesmerizing Kulin. Taking advantage of the situation, Kulin's family seizes the opportunity and starts charging an entrance fee for a house tour. It's a complete frenzy. Meanwhile, Kulin, who is hiding in the streets, stumbles upon his family's exploit on the news. The feeling of betrayal and being exploited by his own people overwhelms him. As they try to call him, Kulin resolutely refuses to return home and finds himself overwhelmed with sadness when he discovers that his beloved pet fish has been mishandled and killed by tourists. Fleeing from the chaos and maniacs chasing him in the streets, Kulin finds himself seeking refuge on the rooftop of a nearby building. As he struggles to catch his breath and calm down, a mysterious girl suddenly appears out of nowhere and asks if he's considering jumping off the roof. Kulin is taken aback by her unexpected presence, especially since she doesn't seem to be fazed by his appearance and doesn't have any visible physical reactions like nosebleeds or fainting spells. The girl refuses to engage in conversation and quietly walks away, leaving Kulin feeling both nervous and grateful for the brief moment of human interaction. Eventually, Kulin reaches out to his friend Kibo, who kindly picks him up and invites him to stay at his grandmother's house for as long as he needs. Upon entering Kibo's room, Kulin's eyes bulge with amazement at the sight of two incredibly rare and valuable playing cards. As they chat, they discover they share a number of interests, including collecting playing cards. The very next day, they venture off to the all-girls school in search of the girl from the day before. As they navigate the school's hallways, they unexpectedly bump into the stunning Amanda and give her the highly coveted files outlining City's grand proposal plan. Despite initially putting on an act of indifference towards Kulin's good looks, Amanda's nose starts gushing blood as soon as he leaves. Kulin catches a glimpse of his crush on the staircase, but unfortunately, the surrounding girls prevent him from meeting her. For the following days, Kibo and Kulin are joined at the hip and rapidly become the closest of companions, enjoying a multitude of shared experiences. On a fine afternoon, Kibo brings Kulin along for a thrilling game of futsal, a place where he often goes to meet his crush, the lovely Rare. After the intense match, Kulin happens to spot the girl he noticed earlier from the rooftop. She's diligently working at a nearby shop, capturing his attention effortlessly. Just at that moment, Kibo joins the scene and introduces Kulin to none other than the enchanting Rare. To Kulin's surprise, he discovers that Rare is Kibo's crush as well, the very same person he had been discussing earlier. It becomes evident that the two share a close bond, which stirs up jealousy within Kulin. The strange and unfamiliar emotions swirling within him keep him tossing and turning throughout the night, making it nearly impossible for him to find sleep. Then he suddenly remembers that Okus is a love guru who could provide some much-needed guidance. In a flash, he arranges to meet Okus the following morning. At their meeting, Okus can't contain his joy and bursts into tears of happiness. He had been eagerly anticipating the day when he could finally share his knowledge about girls with his brother. Kulin has long since forgiven his family for betraying him to his fans, since, if not for that incident, he would never have crossed paths with Rare. With a clear plan in mind, the brothers set out to buy groceries while Okis imparts valuable advice on what Kulin should do to win Rare's heart. Though Kulin realizes he doesn't know Rare as intimately as Kibo does, he refuses to give up on his first love and follows Okus's suggestions diligently. One sunny afternoon, Amanda pops up at the boys' school and hands Kulin a birthday invitation. To make the moment even sweeter, she also blesses him with a fancy phone as a gift. Later on, Kulin, Kibo, and Rere head out to a karaoke joint to belt out some tunes. When it's Rere and Kulin's turn to sing, he's thrilled to duet with her, but she only has eyes for Kibo. Kulin soon realizes that Rere has a major crush on Kibo, which crushes his heart with jealousy. When Kibo disappears for a moment, Kulin doesn't hold back and asks Rere point blank if she's got the hots for Kibo. At first, she denies it, but when Kulin fibs about Kibo's love interest being Amanda, Rere's face immediately betrays her true feelings. After returning home, Kulin decides to make a move and contacts Amanda for a favor. She's more than happy to oblige and agrees to do anything he asks of her. The following day, a lively crowd gathers at the venue, all set to celebrate Amanda's birthday. When Kulin and Kibo make their entrance, Amanda warmly greets them. But something peculiar happens. Amanda appears to be more drawn to Kibo than Kulin. In fact, she even pulls Kibo aside for a private conversation. Just then, Rere arrives at the party, only to witness the heart-wrenching sight of Amanda locking lips with Kibo. Crushed by this unexpected betrayal, Rere's heart shatters into a million pieces, prompting her to flee outside in utter despair. Seizing the opportunity presented by Rere's vulnerability, Kulin bravely opens up and confesses his true feelings for her, hoping for a glimmer of reciprocation. However, Rere appreciates Kulin's heartfelt gesture, but makes it clear that she has never seen him as anything more than a friend. Despite his misguided attempt to conspire against his own best friend, Kulin finds himself empty-handed and shattered. Meanwhile, the group of bullies witnesses Amanda's passionate display with Kibo and succumbs to a poisonous mix of jealousy and anger. They unleash their wrath upon Kibo, subjecting him to a brutal beating, while Kulin watches helplessly from a nearby spot, paralyzed with fear and unable to intervene. Later on, Kulin brings Kibo back to his place to tend to his injuries, with the assistance of his caring grandmother. Witnessing Kibo's painful groans, a wave of realization crashes over Kulin, making him fully comprehend the magnitude of his grave mistake. The following day, Kibo surprises him by presenting a legendary card from his prized collection. A card that Kulin had been yearning for a long time. Consumed by guilt, Kulin comes clean about all his past wrongdoings. The confession hits Kibo like a thunderbolt, leaving him shocked and deeply wounded by the betrayal. He reveals that he would have backed off from pursuing Rere if he had known Kulin also had feelings for her. These words, however, only serve to inflict more pain upon Kulin's already bruised heart. In the end, Kibo commands him to leave the house immediately, feeling justified in his hurt and anger. Aware of his own wrongdoing, Kulin chooses to comply and departs. After an agonizing month, he finally returns home, greeted with overwhelming joy by his family. But within Kulin, there lingers a deep sense of emptiness. He isolates himself in his room, shutting out the world and refusing to engage with anyone. Above all else, he yearns for the companionship of his lost best friend. The two cross paths occasionally. They never do more than exchange a fleeting glance. At home, Kulin's mom is fretful about his well-being, and one night, she approaches him and gifts him his beloved pet fish, still very much alive. She also reassures him that he can return to homeschooling if that's what he truly desires, as his family only wants him to be happy and will support him no matter what. Touched by his mother's words, Kulin realizes he has a support system that genuinely cares for his well-being. This revelation pushes him to set things right with Kibo. The next morning, he rushes over to Rere and tells her everything. After the conversation with Rere, he goes to Kibo and tries to apologize. At first, Kibo brushes off the idea, but when asked about Rere specifically, he can't help but gush about his deep affection for her. However, Kulin pulls off a clever move by revealing that Rere had been eavesdropping on their phone conversation the whole time. This revelation works like magic, healing their strained relationship and returning them to their previous state of being close friends. A few days pass, and the much-anticipated prom arrives. Kibo proudly escorts Rere as his date, while Kulin is accompanied by the stunning Amanda. And guess what? True to everyone's expectations, Kulin and Amanda emerge victorious, earning the glorious titles of prom king and queen. But Kulin overhears a girl commenting that he's merely moderately attractive. Strangely enough, this remark instantly grabs his attention, hinting at the start of a fresh relationship. We hope this recap has been a helpful reminder of the movie's highlights and has reignited your passion for this cinematic masterpiece. If you liked it as much as we did, make sure to like and subscribe to Alpha Recaps for daily movie recaps.